especially on T side. They are so good at staying coordinated on B splits. One of the few teams that really know how to fight for camera properly. Or, excuse me, fight for E-box properly. And fight for mid properly.
I think there's also going to be a very key fight throughout this map with EliGE towards bridge. And we saw what happened at Inferno when he started to get stuff in some of his aggressive plays towards his opponent when he was operating on his own and falling because of it. He became a shell of himself. And that map was exploited to Vitality's favor as EliGE found no impact across the opening map. A recovery on Vertigo for himself and Complexity. And Holzer will kick this off. That P2000's been looking real good.
He's got some good pistol rounds now in this series already.
Strong defense pushing out. Spinx waiting for this aggression, but Grim's going to clear him out.
Wow, how the hell do you get that kill?
Majority pistol rounds going the way of Complexity in this series. 3-1. This would be the fourth and an important one on the CT side of Anubis. But there is still something that Vitality can get done towards B. It's a straight up 3v3 with a little jiggle peek out of Grim, looking for that early warning sign while his two teammates fixate into dark instead.
It makes the setup so much better when he can do this now. They can actually push him back with still lots of time. And the CTs, they can move forward if they want to, or just chill.
Is he coming in? Oh, Holzer hits him with the drive-by, totally turning their attention over. This is looking like a clean sweep. Apex, P250 finds nothing.
Wow.
5 standing from Complexity as they win the 4th pistol of this series.
Beautiful round out of Halzerk. Again, that P2K. And did they split pistols on Vertigo? At least 1-1?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's now 4 pistols here for Complexity in the series. Second overtime loss on Inferno. 12-7 clean victory on Vertigo. And potentially another good start to a map. Looking for 3 good starts in a row. But in terms of ecos, I would say Vitality of the team that have pulled off more of the unlikely rounds in this matchup so far.
Line up for the AUG. Wonderful stuff. Easy versus just the Glocks. But that's what we're talking about, right? Op less. AUG's hard.
AUG's awesome. I mean, it's kind of crazy because I think it covers like 80% of situations. Yeah, you're probably prone to losing a little bit more health, but you see how much damage it does and the advantages you have at range. If you don't get first bulleted, you can easily multi-kill in a way that even an AWP can't sometimes. So
just can't lose yourself in the spray, right? Because once you start shooting that,
disperse,
the dot in the scope starts to get a little crazy. In CS2 specifically, it gets really big.
But I swear, the damage is so high, you almost never need to go for some full spray. It's very accurate, too, so.
It wouldn't be the first time that a weapon goes kind of under the radar in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, there's going to be broken guns that have not been changed in CS2, just like there were in CSGO. If that happened in CSGO like 4 or 5 times, imagine how many guns right now just haven't been totally figured out yet. That will be completely abusable. And only because people are sticking to their habits and focusing on the team element of the game, they're not exploring every single weapon. Yeah, that may or may not be.
You know, we see the MP9 in the spotlight right now.
Massively, yeah, it's so strong.
Jumping accuracy, moving accuracy, fast time to kill and movement speed. But there are no shortcomings in SMGs here in round number 3. Vitality's first rifle round, eyeing up this B side again. Layered defense. And it is Grim who dodges the damage. JT takes all of it. The one softened piece of the B defense. Lots of control still here for Cole. And they're going to boost the EliGE backside. Nice defense here, right? Just varying up the setup.
Yeah, this site is all about alternative ways to peek because you have to keep vision. And it's very silly to just stand out in the open. So boosts and double ups and camera and... Oh... Grim, is he aware of the timing right now?
Oh god, he's
still got the kill with no health.
Insane. EliGE, full bar, dies out. Grim has been softened up, flash is good, and Grim's gun starts to go empty. JT's gonna gonna fall. Holzerk shaves Apex off the crossover, and they have forced flameZ to the clutch, but Floppy didn't waste a moment on that water flank.
That was excellent. Yeah, I mean, I love them using elevation. I love them doubling up on camera, and they've got a floating defense, basically. They're not sticking to hard angles that are very favorable for CT side because there really are none in the site. You've got to stay either open and active, like someone like Donk, who's just constantly swinging, or you have to find the tactics like boosts, or obviously the big bad guns like the AWP, but sometimes the AWP doesn't even get a clean shot off with the amount of utility that's designed specifically for an AWP holding into main or into camera. So love the approach there on complexity. It looks like everyone's in a flimsy setup, but when they're together, it's so well fortified, covering all these specific angles.
Strong start from complexity that starts to raise an eyebrow. Of all the matches today, it felt like Vitality were meant to take them down. The critics claimed from 2-0 to 2-3 was what complexity were destined for. The critics claimed that they shouldn't have even gotten this top 16 spot, seeing as they lost to Furia back at the RMR and still managed to start the event at a further state.
Connor's quoting himself right now, by the way, just in case you were wondering.
Yeah, it's me, I said that.
It's me, I'm critics. But critics were right. Critics were right. There's obviously a high likelihood of that happening, and well, we saw that they proved they were the better team than Furia in this stage.
Hell of a back and forth in their second best of one as well. And when they got absolutely dismantled by mauZ, at that point there was this huge question mark. Was it an indictment as to their form, or just really a testament as to where mauZ is at the moment? Looking to close out the 4v2 right now. Spinx hunting his first kill with the AK. Soon smoke fades, then a fight for Floppy, perhaps. Support is here from Holzerk, who has not skipped a beat. From the dominance back on Vertigo to a clean sweep of the fourth one. Complexity will show no sign of weakness thus far on Anubis.
Yeah, if you just watch this match, you'd wonder who's exactly the underdog, because complexity always start off so well. Their setups look very good, and it's not even the individual skill that's finding sort of cracks in the concrete right now for Vitality. They're just looking like the weaker team at the start of every game. Got Xtaz in the mix. Apex as well, talking about things. I mean, this could be like an emotive argument for him, just, hey guys, I need you right now, because I'm sure they're not out of ideas and they've played together so long. They know what they need to do. And sometimes that is what you need to hear. At the moment, 3 players have 0 kills on Vitality and going into the 5th round. And that only matters just because that allows the money to get high for complexity. We talked about this bridge engagement. It's such an important part of the map, and also just such a difficult part of the map that you almost never want to try to play if you can avoid it. But if you don't use it, the good teams will use it against you. I feel like that is why EliGE takes up the responsibility of bridge. It's a big ticket item for the team that can contain it, and complexity bank on him to do so. It's not every round that will have Holzerk being the front-facing player of the A setup. Right now, Floppy's kind of supporting EliGE out in middle. We hit the minute mark, and Vitality really don't have too much to show for it. EliGE burning, forced into the fight. Nice counter utility there to get him into the open. And that's something to pull on if you're Vitality. Had that perfect lineup, no place to stand. Smoke in the front of Dark, JT looking to hold on to this. And complexity starting to prod at the back of Vitality's rotation. They will take this into the B site. 3 players on long. And JT very much on his own at the moment. Grim is back towards Temple. JT's gonna have to do something. Grim comes out, can't stop the cross to jail. And for that reason, flameZ opening up on site. The AUG's gonna betray Floppy. Zywoo gets the better of him. And as Grim slides down to site, there's a lot of coverage here.
He wants to open up the smoke, go hunting. Holzer catches the player pillar. You've got ZywOo in the open, and then the planter close on sight. That's 2 out of Holzer, who is 10-1. And as that wrap goes around the pillar, Holzer swapping spots on the obelisk has gone unchecked. Apex is hunting, and he will find him turned. Vitality on the board.
Yeah, another situation that should have been impossible. Of course, JT was expecting Grim to get there, and he was just 1 or 2 steps too late after he shoulder swung. Maybe could have found another kill, but it's this frag, first of all, where he actually encourages EliGE to stand forward, who seems to think that there's going to be a gap for him. But the lineup on the Molly is perfect for flameZ, and that's a free, untraded kill to start the round off. Good. Vitality, we should be looking forward to the T side. And actually, because of flameZ's first 4 or 5 kills, they have kept the money somewhat low, despite the streak. Sort of miraculous, actually. Oh my god, is that the play? That is the play. All the boost, man. Get creative.
And we've seen different versions of it in the site already, giving EliGE vision over smoke earlier on. This is a round with less to work with. High pressure spot here for Floppy. He may not realize they are there. Can he get off? Yep. In behind cover. And as they open the smoke, he'll peel flameZ off this round. 5v3 with lesser guns.
Yeah, they just took one of the ribs. On both sides of the map. T's trying to, I guess, get the AK back so they can reset at a minute. But what kind of space do they have? I mean, they now know that there are multiple guns alive in this round. They don't know JT's on a 5-7.
Floppy hanging on for dear life. The flash. Nicely done. All you could really ask of him to do. It is queued up an excellent hold here for the CTs. ZywOo, though, that X Factor, as always, goes deep, missed shot, and that kill right there from Grim steals the 5th for Cole. 3 up, and all of a sudden, a tremor for Vitality.
Yeah, man, this T side is almost gone.
Shaking in their boots as they are halfway through this T half, 1 round to their name, and no real economy to stand on. There will be limitations in this next one.
That was some really great creativity to start this round off. Of course, setting up your star player right now in Holzer, who's had a great sort of map and a half now coming into this game. And honestly, he was great on Inferno. It's just a couple of big moments that he couldn't figure out, but overall, his output has definitely been undeniable. And the best part about this round is you don't even notice how few players actually have rifles, or the fact that there's a 5-7 on the map. This is a full pop coming into the site. They're trying to make it a fake, but it doesn't scare them.
Just torn to pieces. 5-7's good from JT. Peek out dark, perfection. Holzer, missed shot, but so be it. He'll follow up with the 3rd, and that is the 6-1 lead.
Bro, he's spawning into these maps like Donk, actually. 13-3. Almost again. We are getting a CT side masterclass out of complexity.
Where is flameZ? Where is Spinx? Where are the openings for Vitality?
They're getting no control in terms of opening kills. If we look at opening kills on this series, Complexity have them in the dumps.
7 rounds in, flameZ has 3 ADR.
30 ADR?
3. Galil back in hand, Holzer with the close outer A nade. But Vitality haven't gotten up close just yet. Love that. Opening the smoke just in case they were, so nice on Vitality to be that much safer, playing up by Rugs instead.
Lineups for the...
God, this map is evolving.
Yeah, I mean, it's the game too. It's actually just beautiful. Someone said it to me on Twitter the other day. It's like, I'm still to this day amazed, after a year of CS2 at breaking open smokes with nades. I feel the same way. It's such a cool thing to watch, and seeing lineups with the nades to the smokes is also...
This is huge. They have completely left A so that they can get ahead of this bridge push. flameZ's going to try to best them. Will again win the head-to-head versus EliGE, but if he thinks this space is all free for the taking, he couldn't be more wrong. Floppy behind the door. Spam comes back out of Apex, but his gun's now empty. It's a battle of the pistols. Nope. Still a few shots left. Apex kept what he needed. That's an open A hit because of the rotation out of the bomb site into middle. It gets red. Vitality, we're leaning back They thought once they cracked open the smoke and saw nothing that maybe Vitality weren't there.
Oh, they won't even try it, yeah. I guess
Props to Vitality slipping in when they felt there was an opening on A.
Indeed, I mean, they do, well, they have floppy, right? So they know that the single pillar player is not going to be present, and that's a weakened site. So, okay, the first time it looks like they have control of the map, even though they lose flameZ. They get the first kill on EliGE on the double push through the door. That fails. And as impressive as it is that Vitality have been able to claw back from these score lines at the beginning of every game, losing every pistol, giving the other team a hot start over and over again is bound to catch up with you. It certainly did on Vertigo. And they're looking at a max of 6 rounds on T side, where you're always looking for 7 or more.
Complexity's players keeping their fingers crossed that Halzert can just keep up this momentum. Back-to-back maps now that he has dominated out of the gate.
Oh.
3 ADR going into that last round.
Well, James Bond is British, right? Sometimes.
William Merriman, currently MIA. Apex trying to find more openings. Have to say it, flameZ besting EliGE 2 times now in Bridge, and that fight,
very important.
You know, if they don't win that Bridge fight and still just try to force their way into the A site, well, then we get the retake from Complexity that we could have definitely banked on some success. A great chance for flameZ to step into the spotlight and be what Vitality needs to take back this game. Long road ahead if this T-side falters. If. But it is a slow, meticulous start to each of these rounds. Oh, great grenade. Softens up JT and Grim. Just a bad omen of things to come. More utility unraveling this forward setup. flameZ comes in. He'll get one again. More nades, more pressure for JT to deal with, but he holds. There's that dark fight that could be coming out. ZywOo's trying to spam. JT's just got to keep himself on the pillar.
His head's off the wheel at this point. He's got this impenetrable pillar. Spinx shoots back at through him.
Yep.
But they know the split's still coming in.
Rotates. They come out. Temple taken over. EliGE able to catch ZywOo. Spinx through the smoke again. Oh, hold on. EliGE was right there on the line.
He's looking for his timing.
Spinx decides not to shoot. EliGE will take his teammate out, and Spinx this entire time has been stuck outside of this smoke. Once he gets vision, he's going headhunting versus 2 low Complexity players. Up close is the second. It is EliGE pinned against the wall. It is Spinx on 36 health. Oh! 4 kills deep. Bask in the beauty of the chiseled beast.
My God, Spinx, what a clutch. He kept an inventory of them that whole time. He had more health than both, but he still made it a headshot just in case. Just excellent.
And almost one step too far when that obelisk peak comes out. Almost in EliGE's crosshair. But instead, ready for the floppy peak, takes his step back, swings with confidence, wins the duel to EliGE, and puts Vitality 1 round closer. And we are talking about Spinx, the man who has stepped forward in ZywOo's absence at the start of the event. Highest rated player for Vitality coming into this best of 3.
Yeah, he's necessary, you know. He became the electronic to ZywOo Simple. You know, he's the guy who really rounded out this roster and gave them that star player edge, that extra player that Apex needed to be able to call this team to winning a major and winning major events. And he has stepped up in this game.
Off the back of a Spinx 4K, we could have the breakthrough that Vitality most certainly need. emphasis on that 4K because those are the only 4 kills Spinx has in this half. Another example of a slow start from a star in this server. Better late than never. ZywOo holding dark, it's an easy pickup. It's desperate pistol players that feel as though they've got to try something somewhere. JT nothing but a victim. 5-7's up close. Dangerous range, but very quick on the trigger. flameZ's entries have been superb. Whether that's coming out from dark, fighting EliGE on mid, or in this instance, just unraveling the pistol stack.
Yeah, he's been a warrior for Vitality when they need him. Sort of this wild dog, they EliGE on the bridge with some nade support, but it's mostly just him needing to win his duel straight up. Mano y mano versus EliGE, and he's getting away with it. And once again, 3 maps in a row. It's an eco to open it up, a clutch round to open the door for Vitality, and then they start flooding in late into the half when they can finally scoop up a few rounds. But still, Complexity already have 6 on CT side.
Sure. But Complexity can never get their hopes up. Complexity can never feel like it's enough. All that scar tissue of maps gone. It all starts to resurface.
Yeah, they're constantly in pain.
A players can't really be freed up to deal with mid. In fact, they're going to leave that gap, right? EliGE comes over to help out Floppy so they can remain dedicated to the triple B. Is Floppy going through off the flash? Yes, he is. And there's nobody here, so he decides to pull back, but they weren't far off.
Ooh, and the staggered smoke.
Now they're going to go for the double B fight. This could be the 2v1 against Spinx.
Yeah.
But he stays tucked in. And in the pistol, they cleared him from this spot, but on the fallback, oh, JT will win the duel.
Oh, that was a good setup from Spinx, but he doesn't grab it. Now they can start to lead in.
And they have given up all the control on A because they didn't see anything there, but the T's are indeed already on the site. mezii finally coming through with some impact.
Halzerk finds one.
Grim isn't too far off. flameZ's lurk to Halzerk could be huge. Does it reopen the possibility of a ruck back to B? No, they're going to keep fighting forward off of mezii's anchor in A. Camera occupied. Heaven owned by EliGE, but he gets hit by the smoke, so they know it. He's close.
Yeah, the CTs have started to split up because they didn't see the bomb.
Gap on camera. Grim tries to exploit it. T's coming out on top with man advantage. JT wins that fight towards B, but he's not close enough to pressure off the plant. So once he arrives, it is 2 guns in head, ready to rock. He keeps himself crouched down beneath it. Back fountain player ready for the swing.
Oh, mezii lets him go above.
JT
doesn't know how far flameZ could have gotten to, and and mezii will do the rest. Whew, nicely done, and the flank catch was also massive on Halzerk. That pickup kept the man advantage for a second. And Vitality are back in the half. A couple of times now they found this opening, pulling the CTs not completely out of the sight, but back into rotator spots, which is all they were looking for. Just one timing where Floppy is not standing in the front doorway. That's when it's the most difficult for Vitality to get in, and they've been able to craft these moments. They've been able to pull the rotations.
Oh, wow, okay, fast push. Gets them 1 kill, but costs them 2 deaths. And that could very well serve as Vitality's trigger to just overwhelm the B site. You know, even that last round, sure, they get Floppy out of position, but Complexity were working with info. They had just taken over long. They had just flashed into clear. Not expecting Vitality to be that close. 2 necessary moments, one from a silent Spinx and then a missing mezii. But a multi-kill in back-to-back rounds from the 2 of them to post Vitality's.
He's letting 2 go by.
Fourth
the
and
bomb
fifth.
is... The bomb's going to be... Oh my god, the bomb takes a really strange route, actually. Floppy gets 1. He doesn't know if it's the player who was running away, but it is going towards the site that Complexity wanted to.
One more chance for the North Americans to just scrape a 7th onto their side, spam through smoke, and the SMGs can't quite stop them. Here comes the AK, big chance for Floppy. Off the side of Pillar, he gets 2. But he finds himself 1v1 versus the best. ZywOo planting backside. Floppy swings and catches him! Oh, no way!
Yo.
It is a wacky waving, arm flailing Floppy to post that 7th to Cole.
The inflatable pool noodle that is Floppy catches that clutch.
It's hard to keep your hands on him, man.
Yeah,
He's squirrely.
That's true. And finally, a clutch for him because he is also somebody that sort of is known for having some big clutches. I mean, he's one of the only players in the world to get 1v5s on back-to-back days, or to have a 1v5 at all in his career.
A real anomaly. At a very important 3K.
Very important, yeah. So I was going to say, you know, if with the fact that Spinx won that one before and the one eco that Vitality had been able to pick up at the beginning of every game, 3 maps in a row, Complexity are going to have to be the better team by a significant margin in the second half because they're winning the good rounds as a team, and they do have Halsik as an individual, but the X factor is still shining through for Vitality in the biggest moments and what feels like the massive turning points with an eco to follow. And this does give them a little bit of breathing room. Complexity have T-side to look forward to. Pistol can change all of that, of course. But again, this is the side they need no instruction on. Complexity, when it comes to T-side and Anubis, are a team worth studying no matter what region you are, what level you are, because they're one of the best in the world. Vitality, on the other hand, are one of the few teams that have figured out CT Anubis sometimes.
Damn, man, this line, if it gets held, or if Complexity can keep thriving in the pistols, that's the big question here. Enough of a defense, but a T-side getting stopped on the approach. ZywOo no longer blind. Looking for a little more here. flameZ trying to catch a second, but they'll take this as a chance to depart.
The disengage actually makes sense. I mean, it looked like it was going to be a full committal. They can go back towards the other side of the map. We'll see how fast they organize. They don't catch anybody trying to flank backwards, even though it looks like they're trying to find that. I mean, with the long route around, I feel like they have to wait 2 times as long because it's quite clear to Vitality they haven't committed into the site. There's no further utility. There's no straggler left there to try to keep their attention. What they've got out of this round is a very weakened ZywOo, but flameZ covering him, getting the kill is even more important. And he'll be the extra man coming over. Let's see if he can find a headshot angle to make up for his lack of HP.
They're moving. They're moving into the fight. Caught in the open. Down towards Dark. Spinx will get into cover, but he's lost his players on the site. Falling further back. They're going to go for the chase. They at least take back the room from him. Bombs planted. And Vitality's rotation comes by way of Long and Temple. This is going to leave Holzerk in the pocket. Caught out by flameZ, who started this thriving pistol over on A. Grim's chance taken back. It's flameZ at a scorched earth on this B site once he arrives.
Yeah, that's right. This Ember is getting hot for this team. This young bet of an aggressive rifler did so much work in that first half dealing with EliGE on the bridge into covering ZywOo when things almost went south on that last pistol. And it has been 4 pistols in this game for Complexity, but now finally a second one back for Vitality.
They're going to come in with the force buy, huh? Complexity not going to let this lead slip for free. It's a healthy buy at that. AK for EliGE. Does he take up middle? Because we could very well start to get more chapters of this EliGE versus flameZ fight over the bridge. Right now, it is a tale of the young Israeli star. Three defenders inside of B site and a whole swarm of Vitality players coming at them. They've lost one side. Holzerk, great scout shot. Floppy. It's a back turn to him, and with it, an easy entry.
Oh my god. They steal this back after the pistol, denying the conversion. The one-time Vitality get it when it matters. 6 rounds for them, 2v3 retake. Does anything go wrong here?
Just a sudden pop, that's all it is.
Yeah, man. I was saying that their coordination on these B splits is A1. Like, they are so good at taking over camera and being able to fight into the site. And that is something that is so hard to be able to be on the same page as your team at. Like, in dry runs with no one on the map, of course, very easy to be like, all right, this choke point, then this choke point. But with the way that camera is, with the amount of counter utility that gets bounced into the walls all the Molotovs, all the smokes. You see so many situations where even the best teams will have to run through a molly, die to one spray, and then it shuts off the total main split. It's very hard to scale into camera, essentially, and Complexity know how to get away with that. Now, of course, this is a round where they don't have much in the way of utility to stop them, but leave it to JT to figure out a good time to try to attack. I keep saying camera. E-box.
Yeah.
It is the key to this map.
I was going to correct you the next time. Letting you get away
There would
with
have
it.
been one more for sure.
We can all agree it's not Ramsey.
Unfortunately,
There was a time.
Let's get...
God damn, we tried. ZywOo going to take it up. Ooh, JT in the water. Spinx with the SMG for the wide swing. ZywOo then caught. That could have been the kills back for Holzerk.
Damn, he goes back in post. That's actually nuts.
And this was the question, right? Getting into dark. Floppy was allowed that close proximity for free in the round prior. That's why the split comes through so easily. Right now, flameZ MP9 pressed against Smoke. 2Ts here, but he's not gonna let them cross.
He's doing the impossible right now. 19 and 11 for flameZ with all the worst guns. Pistols, SMGs, you name it.
EliGE looking to take it back somewhat. Grim finds timing in middle. Dodge the flash. EliGE has got him against the wall. This is a recovery.
They can claw this back.
This is the 2v5 with a smoke in middle. This Opper is isolated with a molly in front of him. Grim is going to get chased down. Nice pressure out of middle from Spinx. But what about EliGE?
45 seconds. He has to search for a kill. Can't plant the bomb. Knows that he's covered. Will the CTs give it to him?
Mid-fight's there. Tries to snap to the reaction he anticipates out of bricks. That's 2 players in storage and 1 out towards mid.
ZywOo with an op on the line.
Close corner held by mezii. Op shot lands. That should be the damage that gets this over. EliGE will go for the bomb plant. Faking it once. Trying to elicit a rotation. Sure enough, ZywOo puts his head on a silver platter.
Don't play with him.
SMG and Deeg in hand. Spinx getting closer. EliGE in the open. They chase him. His gun's out. They're right there on the angle. And EliGE now down to 8. He thinks he's close. And the SMG will thrive. Spinx makes sure there's no cracks in this hold.
Jesus. Another clutch for Spinx. It's such a close call. And the closest attempt to a massive round here for EliGE in this match, but he does massive damage still. 2v5 brought back to a one-on-one. Vitality into the pause. They're going to talk this through. They've been given a gift, a chance now to buy early. And we're getting to the point that there are almost too many of these force buys to sustain. How many rifle rounds do you have to win in one game to get the victory? That's going to be the question Complexity have to ask themselves. But they also did deny the conversion in the second pistol.
This is all SMGs all day. All 5 kills out of Vitality by way of MP9. They force again. They've got 2 smokes and a flashbang to work with. Complexity hanging on to this lead for dear life. And all the while, right? 5 MP9 frags. We've got Vitality making money, clawing back, closing the gap. And a persistent threat in this E-box. Spinx is gonna go back at it. JT with the Deeg. mezii's got the clean double and a fallback into the site that goes uncontested from long. Apex, whoa, could get caught on the repeat. He's got a teammate close pillar. He's got a molly to keep them out.
Yeah, they do know mezii's there in this position, I think. 1 smoke, 1 flash here between Floppy and Holzerk. And I don't think Vitality have to be too scared. But you know what? The way that they're playing the site is pretty vanilla, right? Like when we contrast that to what we saw from Complexity, I think that's a more modern and effective way of playing it.
And timing could work because, yes, sure, flameZ is pushing out on long A, but they're going to try to cross. Ooh, nicely timed peek out of mezii. Apex makes sure Floppy can't get away, and Holzerk dies empty-handed. Rock solid from Vitality's B-hold.
Yeah. But from back there and from spotting on default, that is how you die. That is how a lot of teams are finding it very strugglesome to hold this site. And I think, honestly, for Complexity, that's an opportunity because they've clearly given a lot of thought to why this site is very hard to hold and what are some solutions. We saw them in the first half. Now it's about showing the teams that struggle with that how they beat it. But it won't be this round. And it might be a lead here for Vitality as they get their feet on the ground on CT side.
This constant investment from Complexity has just left them working with lesser tools. Not even a trusty Deeg for JT, just 4 Glocks walking through smoke silently. They're gonna get close. AK coverage from Apex is good. Makes sure there's no wild antics.
Oh, yeah.
And Vitality established that 9-8 lead.
Yeah, that's clean. And no deaths, building up money right now. And the critical point in the game here, in the 4th quarter, Vitality, they've got a lead, they got a little extra cash. They still got some CT qualms they've got to deal with, but if they're going to play the 5v5 in the site, I think they have to get more creative than what we've seen, or I want to believe that Complexity can beat it. But Vitality are championed a lot of CT aggressive maneuvers that are deemed pretty kind of scary, but they're very good at executing on them, like the flash double swing.
They have yet to find success against flameZ on A. And even the rounds where he doesn't get kills, he is constantly prodding this long corner.
Yeah, I mean, that's on Floppy. He's the guy who's going to go head-to-head with the B-side player.
Strong exchange of utilities. Zywoo waiting for his chance to take a glance down lane. Flashes come through, and Long will be beneath the feet of Cole. They're going in. Oh!
How?
The jumping M4 stabilizing just in time. At the very least, Holzer trades, but at what cost? He's so low. And again, it is Spinx ahead of the op, which is then prepared, but not able this time to deal with Holzer. And considering he's on 11 health, that's a hell of a shot. Spinx into the AWP is solo B, but there is no follow through from Complexity just yet. There is no doubt in my mind that Spinx is stressed on the op with 20 health. He calls for support, and it all comes over.
Oh my god, it's the perfect read of the situation. Late round, the Complexity's comfort zone, but the push. Oh, but it's not denied.
But now they're going to be thinking more so about E-Box, but
they know that Grim's not lurking in that position, right? They've still got enough people here to hold on to this. The op shot's easy.
It all falls on Holzer. They're still concerned that he could be down in dark. Off peaks Long. Holzer falling out to his favorite weapon as Spinx holds on.
Wow. Man, flameZ. Look how well he's playing. It's unbelievable. I mean, both halves in this map, completely saving the day.
Shout out Spinx for the M4 peek down water. So consistently being the pressure that's countering out Complexity. Contrast that to the first round where we get Floppy just barreling through. They have not been able to get into E-Box for free ever since.
Yeah. I was wondering, honestly, like seeing Zywoo on that line, I'm like, he could die right here. It was a good peek from Hellzerk, not to go too wide, but he's set up on that exact position a couple of times.
Also,
TC going to get involved.
Shout out Apex, man, going for the full B stack in that situation.
This is so wild. The flash didn't even actually work.
It's Mezzy who goes out and catches Grim.
Yeah.
Spinx.
Grim was waiting for that peak.
Puts down the foundation with the op and holds. And it is Vitality now pulling away on a map that Complexity love to play, but on one that they're running out of buys. It is back in with another half purchase. EliGE spending all he's got just for this Galil. Smoke 2 flashes. And this constant pressure from Zywoo out of E-Box. A missed shot will be the saving grace of Complexity for now.
That smoke was tricky.
Can they swarm this A site? Will flameZ stutter in the pressure that he has so constantly thrived within? Gets his gun back out, offers up the flash. Apex has got his back. They've got that bomb, and they continue on. Great sprays. Total control.
Jesus, there's gas on the flames now. That's crazy. That spray down, and they don't even do anything to smoke it out, to run through it. They just commit, not expecting a second player to be there. Is it just like that? Are these Complexity's hopes dashed now?
It's a T-side that started off but just cannot find answers. It's a defense that has netted flameZ multiple moments to shine. And he had his impact in shutting down EliGE when we went back to the first half too. flameZ has been a part of this game from start to finish.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hell of a time to put forth this kind of a performance. 22 kills in 19 rounds.
Yeah, so many teachable moments as a CT anchor, so many teachable moments approaching bridge, kind of taking down and picking apart two very key players for Complexity on this map in EliGE in the first half as the aggressive player on the bridge, CT side, and Floppy as a T-side player in defaults that can get very crafty and is set up well to find his duels in A main. Are we looking at another series that Complexity could have won 3 times over? flameZ again on Floppy.
I mean, what more do you have to ask from him? Every round has a moment flameZ catching impact. JT blinding himself makes this awkward. At least they have control, but for what now? You've got this solo lurk outside of B site. So concerned about flameZ's omnipresence on this pressure. JT will crack open smoke. It's good damage on Spinx. Would have hurt it. So yeah, for sure, he'll try to get into the corner, but the flash support out of ZywOo is great. We do get this mid walkout in a moment where middle is open for the taking. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and Complexity reek of that desperation. Trying to find a new route to pressure one half of this map. Apex keeping his head down. The up shot doesn't find him. Holds off on the frag grenade until they snip into camera. That is great amounts of damage, but he loses his support. They do break through with bomb.
Yeah, it's suddenly a retake. Halzerk will dive to plant. Smoke goes up in heaven. Are they going to keep the situation? They want to push through, get this thing started.
It's a retake demanded of Vitality, and with such little health here for the T's, Halzerk, why not, as a glass cannon, try to make something happen?
There's such low HP between two players. Halzerk has to hit this shot, do or die.
They're trying to hold back just in case the aggression comes out. Now Mezzy walks in, and Halzerk lands the op shot. It's a big chance, offered back, Grim, he will fall. The one kill that has been found in this retake, and with minimal HP, wow. Complexity will finally get one on the board.
Unanswered trade in the site. Apex nearly finishes off 2 kills with his first spray and the follow-up grenade.
Terrorists win.
But Apex, and sorry, Complexity show some X factor back and win a very difficult situation.
But it is an exploitable part of the map. Middle was left open for them to creep in. In a 5v3, no less. That triple stack inside of the B site, because of the pressure that was probably applied through E-Box, had them all kerneled up. And a good call from JT to get that pack, what remained of Complexity, all in together.
It's still a pretty opulent Vitality here. They've got money to buy no matter what happens this round. JT, Complexity will have to earn this the hard way. EliGE goes down at first. Halzerk tried to help out Floppy, said, I can go after flameZ for once. But he doesn't find the kill. It's 5v4 with the escape, and there's the boost. We haven't really seen any play like this from Vitality. They'll pull one out and go back to their jump spot. They still are in the power position, 5v4. But they've given up E-Box. Split is starting to take.
Oh, it's not far off. Here it comes though. Oh, he gets his gun back out. But now Messi's pinned against the wall. Spinx burns Floppy. The rotate scrambling out from long. They want to get Mezzy into the open so that Grim can deal with him, which he will. We're going to get a bridge drop by the looks of it. Or is it a late lurk? Because they've got the time to wrap this all the way around. He's going to open the smoke, but he misses his shot. And flameZ all the while inching ever closer. Halzerk taken down to 19 HP. He tries to press his luck against the wall, but slowly but surely the flames just keep burning brighter, and that will force him into the open, so Vitality take their 12.
They've got it. They've got it on 12 for the first time in this series. They get 12 first, and it'll have to be the comeback for Complexity, who started out once again 5-1 in rounds. A series that could have been won 3 times over with the starts that they had, with how close Inferno has been. And it's honestly a story that It's hard to tell again, but it might be the reality this time for Complexity.
It's an honorable challenge across this series. An Inferno that is yet again going to be felt like a heartbreak because they were that close. A slightly more solid B-site defense. And this could have been the Complexity 2-0. Oh no! Leg spotted, but EliGE will bring it back. How that's not the 5v4 or 4v4 at least.
Yeah, this is a rare time, actually. They've got a 5v4 on T side because they've taken so many fights over towards flameZ on his side of the map. So Hauser gets some damage, but as the Opper, not really as relevant. He could take some hits. flameZ just waiting, you know, foaming at the mouth for his time to be able to flank. Hey, you don't want to come to my side? I'm going to come to yours. On basket, set up in a perfect spot with ZywOo behind him as well. Looks like Vitality are reading that this ends towards him, and oh, they take him out. Still an op here, however.
Solid cover from Hulzerk. Not just the op, but mezzi's support as well. But you can see that slight concern for middle, right?
Yeah.
Not wanting to get burned by what cracked open this site last time. ZywOo's op is a miss, and he gets caught out in the open.
Ooh.
Double kill entry and a scorched A site. There is nothing there to stop them. 5 strong. Complexity, no strangers to a challenging game of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, that's true. That was a nice round, man. I mean, that was a good point of contact that Apex found off the bridge.
Done.
Got so much damage off on Hulzerk, but guess he needed to finish him. Nice cover from EliGE.
Great cover from EliGE, and also Hulzerk stopping flameZ as he tries to get aggressive on long.
Yeah, that's the wild dog that you've got to deal with right now on Vitality. That seems to just be running on gas. He's got so much left in the tank, so much energy, you know, with the way that he plays. Happy to go at any moment and apply tons of pressure. This is a map where ZywOo was actually 7-16.
Nowhere to be found. It's an unexpected absence, but it's still Vitality with 12. You'd be foolish to write off the woo. But opening kill again. 2 back-to-back, 5 versus 4 to Complexity's favor. Something that was so elusive throughout the struggle of this T side.
Yeah, if it's flameZ you want to kill on A, it's Spinx on B.
EliGE will pick up the mantle in middle. Yet again, he will find this open for the taking. Complexity are starting to piece together a solution to this T side, and that is getting footing in mid. We saw last round, even the thought of middle control got Vitality scared.
After a kill. But they have been failing to get the kill up until now, and somehow flameZ finds the timing, man.
On his own.
This guy has been a mercenary for Vitality. How much support does he need, if any?
So low hold. However, EliGE comes back. flameZ with everything to do. He is 2 kills deep, but he has to forego control of the bomb site. He comes back at the Heaven Peak. Dangerous game to take that shot. Here comes the camera pressure fast. Off the flash, flameZ comes in with a third. How much more does he have to do? ZywOo along the wall. JT keeps his head down. They are scared, and JT has been cleared. Hulzerk in with a chance to clutch. Snaps the shot up, but misses critically, and flameZ will push them forward.
That's 4 pickoffs. That's 4 pickoffs, and the map won, and they win it. flameZ, the player who came onto this team as an ember, turning into a phoenix right before our eyes. When Vitality needed him, they didn't have ZywOo for once, and flameZ was right there.
And this third map, we're talking about the core of the returning major grand champions.